Wyomingites will pay 8.3% more for electricity rather than the 22% requested by Rocky Mountain Power. The State Board of Land Commissioners chose to table the vote on the Kelly parcel until next year. And if you're looking for a clever Christmas gift, you might consider a squallet. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. Rocky Mountain Power has crunched the official numbers, and Wyoming electricity rates will go up 8.3% beginning January 1st. That's less than half the 21.9% the utility company had asked for from the Wyoming Public Service Commission, and far less than what other media outlets have predicted, according to Cowboy State Daily's Renee Jean.
They had been guessing that it would be about half of what Rocky Mountain Power asked for, which would have been 10.95%. I think it's probably too soon for people to relax, though. If Rocky Mountain Power feels that the commission has made a mistake, they can always come back and ask to reopen portions of the rate increase.
The 8.3% rate increase was just part one of a two-part rate increase request. Wyoming Public Service Commissioners will take that up next on December 19th. The State Board of Land Commissioners voted unanimously Thursday to table a vote on the controversial piece of pristine land known as the Kelly parcel. Cowboy State Daily's Leah Wolfson reports that the 640 acres of land that borders Grand Teton National Park was a high-profile item on the commission's agenda after weeks of emotionally charged public comment about the potential to auction the land off to the highest bidder.
Superintendent of Public Construction Megan Degenfelder made a motion to table discussing the parcel till at least fall of next year or the winter to allow the board to explore options for doing a land exchange and to work with the Department of the Interior to ensure that Wyoming truly gets a fair deal, I should say, for the land.
Many have said they'd like to see the land sold to the federal government and Grand Teton National Park rather than be put in a public auction and possibly sold to a private buyer for luxury home development. A Landerman could face 3 years in prison accused of performing fentanyl-fueled parkour on vehicles, then kicking out the window of a van, taking him to jail. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that 31-year-old Thomas Sorrell's attempted escape happened on Halloween.
A deputy behind the van, he reported that he watched a stool kind of fall out of the van, and he pulled over to grab that. And then he's hearing the deputy driving the van saying, "Oh, he's kicked out the window. Now he's hanging halfway out the window." And then when the deputy caught up to the transport van, it had stopped and the suspect was face down on the sidewalk.
I'll be back with more news right after this.
At Hilltop Bank, we understand that buying a home is a big decision. That's why we're here to be your trusted partner on the path to home ownership. Our experienced mortgage team will guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. We offer competitive rates and a wide variety of home loan options to best suit your needs. With our local knowledge and personalized service, you'll feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire home buying process. Contact us today to start your journey toward home ownership. Hilltop Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis called on President Biden to drop his controversial rule that would force more than 2/3 of all vehicles sold in the U.S. to be fully electric by 2032. 16 other senators joined Lummis in a letter to the president, telling Biden that the mandate doesn't make economic sense and infringes upon the rights of Americans to choose what they want to drive. She pointed to a study conducted by the Texas Public Policy Foundation that showed fueling electric vehicles costs roughly $17 per gallon when factoring in hidden costs, such as the cost of charging equipment, charging losses, and billions of dollars in subsidies. Additionally, nearly 4,000 dealers in the U.S., including 8 in Wyoming, sent a letter to Biden last week telling him the market for electric vehicles isn't there. And if you're scrambling for Christmas gift ideas, how about presenting a loved one with a drink holder made from a skunk pelt, complete with the head and tail? Or perhaps a luxurious over-the-shoulder raccoon pelt called a rack sack? A Texas couple with strong Wyoming connections says the Cowboy State has embraced their redneck critter creations. The craze started with the squallet and continues with the rack sack. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines said business is booming for Carly and Craig Summit of San Angelo, Texas, whose best-selling items are full animal koozies.
Their best seller is, koozies, those insulated things that you can put your drinks in. They're making those out of skunks and opossums and squirrels and raccoons, complete with the tails.
The couple reports that if the company continues to grow at the rate it has been, it will likely someday become their full-time occupation. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.